Are you ready? It's time to check the Disciple Hotline. Leave a voicemail or text the hotline at 954-580-FUNK and we'll play your message on the next show. And Black Mose, it's time to check the Disciple Hotline, man. You know anything about that?
The psychic hotline, like Cleo?
The Disciple Hotline.
Oh, the Disciple Hotline.
See, you're on a podcast right now, okay? And this podcast has done, about like 8 shows or something. And we have a hotline where our listeners can call and leave voicemail. And then we'll play it on the show and respond to them.
That sounds good. Okay, the Disciple Hotline, not the Psychic Hotline. Got you.
Nah, because how different shows will have, or different people will have names to their fans. Our fans are called the Disciples because it was the Black and White Jesus podcast.
Gotcha.
I really hope I don't go to hell for doing this show. I love Jesus. Oh my gosh, I talked about it during the show. We should do a show just about Jesus, maybe, because you're very Christian,
I actually am, yes.
Yeah, and I'm not a member of a religion per se, but spiritually connected with Jesus and His Word. So we'll definitely get into that one day. But before we go down that rabbit hole, let's check out our voicemail. Here's our first one.
Hey, Black and White Jesus. I'm a huge fan of the show. My name is Todd. My name's Todd. And I just had a curious thought I wanted to share with you guys. Kids today are never going to be able to write like how we write in notebooks and stuff, and cursive, that's like Black and White Jesus, you guys are some of the last people probably ever to know cursive. Because everybody's typing everything now. I was just wondering what you guys thought about that, man. It's blew my mind,
yo. That guy sounded familiar. Todd.
Yeah, he's sounding high too.
Dude, you know what? He sounded like a very handsome man. I don't know this Todd from a can of paint, which is an expression that Black Jesus used on the first show, and I can't get out of my head. But this Todd, he had a point, didn't he? Because kids aren't writing cursive in anything anymore, are they?
I have 2 kids.
Uh-huh.
And they both had to write in cursive. So
your kids are,
I'm trying to think of,
a little bit older. But right now, I don't think they're
Wait. You're trying to say that I have my kids young? Well, what's that supposed to be?
That's just statistics.
So you're saying, well, I take care of my kids. But no, I do remember that they did do cursive. As of now, with the pandemic, I don't see how you could actually, hey, this is a Zoom call. I want you to write like this. People are like,
It doesn't make sense anymore. It's cool a little bit. I feel like we learned it, and I feel like in 20 years we're going to be really special for being able to lay down some cursive. Because things are just going to... Dude, the technology... do you know anything about Moore's Law?
I do.
Yes, it's about exponential computer growth. So,
I also know who Mike Moore is too.
Michael Moore?
Yeah.
He has a law too, And that's, I love cheeseburgers. I couldn't think of anything, and I just went with a fat joke. But Moore's Law, like everything's progressing really fast and exponentially, and like a good thing to watch if you're interested in AI is something called God damn, I do the show high just fine, but when I want to pull some things out of my head, sometimes they aren't there. About the singularity. Damn, can't think of the guy. But I'm gonna think about it. And let's go to another voicemail.
Hello, White Jesus.
Holy shit.
It's me, Rosita. White Jesus, call me back when I call you. You want to maybe go out sometime?
Oh, jeez.
White Jesus, give me a call back. I love you.
Uh-oh. Okay, man. Now, I know you don't listen to the show. Do you know who that was?
Your ex-girlfriend?
Nah, man. That was...
Your third wife?
Dude, that was Rosita. Like, as soon as we set up the hotline, we started getting messages from that woman calling for a Ricardo. And it sounded like Ricardo's, was ducking her and broke her heart. And she was like, Ricardo, call me back. All this stuff, right? And then, she was on each episode just because she called the wrong number. Our first hotline call was a wrong number. But then she kept calling. It was hilarious. I actually called her last week.
Maybe you should have her on the show.
I called her last week. And you can see that on episode 8, The White Jesus Show. I called her. Me and Black Jesus called her Rosa. Found out her name's Rosita. And I talked with her a little bit, explained to her that, there's no Ricardo here, that she's calling a podcast. And I think she kind of started hitting on me. And now, that last voicemail sounded like she might be, little thinking about me, That's a little creepy. Let's go to the next one.
White Jesus.
Oh,
I keep calling your number and you don't call me back. Call me back. It's Rosita.
Okay, this woman is clearly stalking me.
Maybe she could. You don't have you have a girlfriend now. Maybe you can convince her to make you some food or something.
I don't have a girlfriend now. You know what? Maybe I should.
Or she might.
Maybe I should check out with Rosita.
Or she might have a sister or even a daughter. She sounds a little bit old, unless you're into that thing.
I don't know. Age is just a number. I told.
Age is just a number.
I said to the 21-year-old blonde at the restaurant.
Age is just a number until the girl has a heart attack on you, and then you're responsible for death. So,
You know what's sad about getting old? When you realize you can't go out with 20-year-old girls anymore. When you're 40 and you start thinking about that.
Unless you're Jeffrey Epstein. No, that's too soon. Too soon.
I heard that guy was weird. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I'll check out Rosita. Our next voicemail is from Sweet Tea, and she's a friend of the show. She's called before. Let's check it out.
Hey guys. Hey Black Jesus. Hey White Jesus. It's Sweet Tea here. I'm calling you back. Alright? So, you guys made a really awesome point. With the Duncan Trussell, Joe Rogan clip there. And Black Jesus, I agree with you. It is very biblical. We are all made in the image and likeness of our Creator, and therefore we all deserve to be treated as though each and every one of us are the Creator, and therefore we should treat everybody else as if they are the Creator also. And in order to do that, we must love unconditionally. Now, with the Duncan Trussell and everything being a virtual reality, that's one theory. There's a lot of different theories, but they're all basically saying the same thing, and it's that our brains and our bodies and our souls and our spirits are much more powerful than we really know, and this world is an illusion, and that this world is here for us to evolve and grow into the power that we have.
Okay, we're just going to take a quick break from that voicemail. Hey, Black Moses, Sweet Tea is pretty cool. She's got some deep thoughts.
Okay, cool. We should have her on the show.
Very much a possibility one day, man. So she was talking about, we had like a Duncan Trussell clip. Who found what results?
I don't know. My phone is either racist or confused. It keeps doing keeps doing stuff, searches and crap, and I don't do nothing to it.
Dude, I don't want to say the word again, but as far as smartphones and racism, yeah. Okay, I'm not going to go in that direction. So Sweet Tea is a believer of Jesus, and also that everything is a lot huger than we can even understand. That's kind of where I'm thinking, you know? I mean, how can we as human beings pretend that we understand how we're living right now, you know? I mean, I know you have the church and everything, and really, I mean, I've been to church with you. Haven't I? Yeah, I've been to church with you once. You took me to a black church. Remember?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think you went to church with me once.
It was great because it was a black church.
I know you listen to a lot of Joel Osteen too.
Yeah, Joel Osteen, most likely a douchebag, but I love what he says. His sermons are great. You know, he might be, you know, a little shady in between. But you are near his church, Lakewood.
Well, when I lived in Houston, yeah, and I live in Dallas, so I'm by T.D. Jakes' church. But Joel Osteen, though, he's cool, man. He's always happy. He has a great chorus and praise and worship team. He's awesome, man. And he's short though. At the end of the church, I don't think they do any now because of COVID, but he used to wait. If you're like the first 100 or 200 people, he'd shake your hand and sign whatever book you had. He's a nice guy, man. Nice guy.
Yeah. Something I liked about him right away was that you can not be a Christian and listen to it and benefit from his sermons. You know? I mean, yeah. He delivers it that way to where it's that people who aren't religious can follow it and be inspired by it. Joel Osteen kicks ass. I'll go on record saying that. I think he, you know, there may be a couple scandals out there about Joel, but I don't really know.
You know, you must be doing something right if you have scandals. If you have no scandals, you're not doing something right.
That's true. You're just a shitty preacher. Let's go back to Sweet Tea.
How I got into this situation where I felt like my Jamaican friend, she's very liberal and she considers herself very open-minded, and she is, in fact. I've talked to her quite a bit, and she actually is. But I still see some, like, really intense anger and hatred towards people who support Trump, and, you know, maybe she needed a little help realizing that her bias against Trump might be something that needs a little help transcending. I wanted her to see that for the same reasons that she feels the way she does about people who support Trump, those are the same exact reasons that people who support Trump feel like they can't talk to or communicate or support the left.
Do you understand what Sweet Tea's saying there? I mean, I guess she's a Trump supporter.
It sounds like it.
That shouldn't make you a bad person, right?
I don't. Well, I mean, people vote for who they want to vote for. And obviously, if you can argue your point without saying, crazy things, I mean, I think that's great.
Yeah, she had that issue where if she's known as somebody who's going to vote for Donald Trump, she doesn't even have to be like a really huge supporter, It could just be that she doesn't want to vote for Joe Biden. But the word Trump supporter now has like a real heftiness to it right now, if you say Trump supporter, it's almost like saying bad person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like people who are going to vote for Donald Trump are bad people. Dude, I might vote for him. I might not. But the division that's being like really created by the media, like fucking Fox News and then fucking CNN, it's ridiculous, and people are getting more divided apart. It sucks. There's nothing wrong with somebody who wants to vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah, I think you should vote for who you want to vote for, but it's just, my opinion about that is just, we just can't promote hate. That's a scary thing. Like, if you're going to vote for Trump, vote for Trump because he said he's going to do America first. He wants to take jobs and bring them back to the United States. Mm-hmm. He wants to take the drugs from coming, more drugs coming in the United States, and he wants to do good agreements for the farmers, yada, yada. I mean, that all makes sense. Don't say I'm voting for Trump because he grabs people by the pussy and that he supports me not wearing masks and all that stuff. It's just, just have an original ideal.
He's a very different type of president. And after somebody as presidential and cool and a great speaker like Obama, going from Obama to Trump, that is insane. Because Trump, I was actually listening to an entire Trump rally the other night, and the stuff he was saying was actually pretty good, and he's actually pretty funny, and just government everywhere is bullshit, and what people appeal Donald Trump to is that he says crazy shit that he's not supposed to say, and that's actually his appeal, because who trusts politicians? And he's a vile creature as well. I'm not going to say he's not a monster, but he's not as bad as he's painted out to be. He really isn't. How could he be? Trump's not Hitler. He certainly isn't Hitler. He's just an old man.
Well, they always say those without sin throw the cast the first stone. So a lot of these people that are maybe prejudging Trump, and don't get me wrong, there's a couple of things that he said that I hope he expands upon if he gets reelected. If he doesn't, then hopefully Biden does something. But it's, It's just normal. I mean, you're right. He says whatever's on his mind, and some people don't like that. But at least you kind of know what's on his mind instead of stuff that he's hiding.
That's true. I think it's just a different kind of human being. And dude, I make sure to watch Don Lemon and then Tucker Carlson every night, so I know what both sides are freaking saying. And I think it's important for people to be open to peek over to the other side and see what they're saying and see if they have any good points. And then if you're on the other side, peek over to the other side, see if they have any good points. You know? There
Right.
really needs to be a whole lot more coming together than there is, because politics has become violent lately. It's become fiery lately. You know? It's become rioty. This is a special year that we're going through.
Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of things are happening.
You know, I mean, Trump will win, and then there'll be violence and rioting, or Biden will win, and the same thing will happen. I don't know. But this is going to be interesting because I think we're going to have a lot of cool discussions on this coming up to the election, man. We're going to be the #1 election coverage for the 2020.
Sounds fun.
And maybe we'll get some voicemails from... Oh, I know somebody who's going to call, probably. Anyway, that was the Disciple Hotline, man. And I think there was even more from Sweet Tea, but quite frankly, we're running short on time. Sweet Tea is my favorite caller because she gives us the best things to talk about. So good that it leads us into huge conversations, and it's always fun. So that's the Disciple Hotline, man, on this podcast that we're doing here, which is now the White Jesus Show featuring Black Moses.